Hey everybody, welcome back. We are in the dining room again this week and we are doing another new video type. This week we are taking non-canon couples and we are pitting them against each other. There's only going to be one non-canon couple that comes out on top and we're doing this bracket style. Should we have done this video during March Madness? Maybe. But producer Brandi is back, by the way.
Hey guys.
We were watching all of the Hunger Games movies. We marathoned all of them before the new book came out. And while we were watching this, we both realized that we very much ship Haymitch and Effie. And Brandi, I think, came up with the idea of what if we had a bracket and we pitted these non-canon couples against each other. Everyone has a ship of a non-canon couple that they love. So that's what we're going to do today. The general rule that we went with when we were coming up with names, shout out to producer Brandi, but also my friends Victoria and Alysse, who helped me bounce ideas, helped me come up with some non-canon couples, and then also helped me whittle down the list to get what we have here. But we decided to stick with characters from books that are in characters in the universe of books that I've read. So you'll see that we have some Avatar: The Last Airbender characters, which is a very popular TV show. And you might think, Mackenzie, what are those doing up there? Well, there is Avatar: The Last Airbender YA novels, and they're pretty good. I haven't read all of them, but I've read 2 of them, I think. So we decided that that was a good thing to include. We also have people from Percy Jackson series, Lord of the Rings. We have some Six of Crows, Grishaverse people. We have a non-canon couple from one of the books I just finished reading, Artemis. And we need at least one classic non-canon couple. So we have a non-canon couple from Pride and Prejudice. Love me some Jane Austen. With all of that information, should we get started? I'll give a little information about how I feel about this couple or these couples as we go along. And I think we're good. Brandi, have I forgotten anything?
I think you're right on track. I'm excited to see who makes it till the very end, so everyone knows I'm rooting for Haymitch and Effie.
That's her ship. They started this whole video. She wants them to come out the winners.
I will say I'm intrigued by Darcy and Wickham, so I'm interested to see how far they make it along in this bracket.
We'll see. If you guys have any non-canon couples that you either see up here and that you're hoping to win and you want to put them in the comments, or if you have any non-canon couples that I didn't include and we get enough to do this again, we definitely can. I'm very excited for this type of video. I think we're going to do this about every other month, just one bracket video every other month. And I already have the next 2 bracket videos in mind. And those 2 have much better names than the title of this video, probably. As we all know, I'm a baby YouTuber and I am still learning everything that it takes to get these awesome videos out to you and videos that interest you. So if you like it, let me know. If you have any other ideas for different types of book bracket videos, also throw those in the comments. Starting off with Haymitch and Effie versus Annabeth and Luke. Will Brandi be right, or will her dreams be dashed right away? Haymitch and Effie are basically, I know that guy from work, and we all ship this coworker romance. Do you ship this coworker romance? I do. I'm a big shipper. And then we also have Annabeth and Luke. They are childhood friends. Luke, not a great person. And for whatever reason, the age gap just really wasn't, like, I didn't enjoy it. So, with that being said, Brandi, you're not eliminated yet. Hamish and Effie are making it to the next round.
Good thing I'm totally putting money on this.
Moving right along to more Percy Jackson. We have Percy and Rachel versus Percy and Raina. If you don't know, Percy and Annabeth end up together, and if that is a spoiler for you, I'm very sorry, but the books have been out since before I was in the 6th grade, and I haven't been in the 6th grade for a very long time. But Rachel was introduced in the original Percy Jackson series as the final corner of the love triangle for Percy and Annabeth when they started to realize that they might have feelings for each other. And then in the later series, when we introduce Roman gods into the mix, we get Raina, and she is a new possible, very briefly, love interest. But I feel like there are some people that are like, Percy and Raina would be a power couple. And I don't think they're wrong. I think they could be a power couple in their own right. Rachel's just doing her best, trying to make it to high school. Raina wants to be an ally with Percy. Have you guys seen that meme where it's like, do you want to be in an alliance with me? Yes, I do. Good. She wants to be in an alliance with Percy. And she's like, well, on the side, like, we could be in an alliance to rule the Roman camp. And on the side, we could also date if we wanted to. But at this point, Percy and Annabeth are going strong. And he's like, no, I have somebody that I'm waiting for. Before I reveal who I think Percy should be with non-canonically, I would like to point out that the cats are not allowed on the dining room table. But Hades is the spoiled baby, and he gets away with everything, including the fact that we're filming right now, and he wants to be a YouTube sensation. So we're just going to let him take this one. This round goes to Hades in the end. But for the bracket, we're going to give it to Percy and Raina. Okay, we're back. We're continuing on with the bracket. Hades has settled down. He has decided that he is the actual winner of this bracket video because he gets to lay on the table without me telling him not to. Did you see that, Jan? He's the winner.
He's practicing to become the new lion for MGM.
Oh, that would be cute.
His audition tape.
Like this video if you want to support Hades' lifestyle. But we have more Hunger Games. In this round, we have Katniss and Gale versus Katniss and Finnick. Gale is introduced at the very beginning of the trilogy, and he is a possible love interest. He's Peeta's foil. And I don't know if there's actually any Katniss and Gale shippers. I don't know if even when it was being released, if anyone was like, yeah, I'm Team Gale. Producer Brandi, do you know anyone who is Team Gale?
Not in real life, but I think there is this small feeling that you want to love Katniss and Gale when you first meet them.
That's fair.
But then you meet Peeta, and he's perfect.
And Peeta is just that golden retriever. He's going to do what he needs to protect his girl.
And sprinkle in that he's played by Josh Hutcherson. I'm sorry, gonna throw it in there.
We have to remember that.
Much better. But I do think some people like Gale just from the like long-standing friendship aspect.
That's fair. You know, friends to lovers is a good trope, and he does help take care of her family. But we'll move on to Finnick, who is another Hunger Games victor. And I don't know if this ship is very popular. I think many people like myself really like that Finnick loves Annie and Annie loves Finnick. And yeah, I think there was probably a brief time. Oh my gosh, we have so many cats on the table. and they're fighting.
Well, this is Hades' audition tape. Nike's just trying to get in.
Well, I think one represents Gale and one represents Finnick, and Hades represents the winner. I don't know if I think at the beginning there might have been some tension when we didn't know about Annie, but I think overall everyone really likes the Finnick and Annie pairing. Would you agree, Brandi?
100%. When you first threw out this suggestion, I completely disagreed with you. I was like, no, this can't be a thing because I like Finnick and Annie.
They're so wholesome together. All right. Well, between these two, do you think you know who I'm gonna pick?
I don't, but I do have an opinion, so I'm very excited to see what you put.
Okay, I'll select it and then we can hear producer Brandy's opinion. And my selection is gonna be Katniss and Finnick.
No, I would have picked Katniss and Gale. I just don't see Katniss and Finnick. I think the personalities are both too dominant that they just would not ever make a good couple. Where at least Katniss and Gale, you can fall back on that whole friend trope. They're just relying on each other. I just think that could go further if we exclude Mockingjay. We're just gonna pretend like that never happened.
But we know Mockingjay happens, and that is not something Katniss could get past. You're gonna say Finnick dies.
Yes, I am. And so if we are counting Mockingjay, she's in love with the dead man. So I don't see where that argument's any better.
Maybe, I don't know what I was gonna say. Maybe he comes back as a zombie. That's not gonna happen. He got exploded. Rest in peace. But my reasoning is really just I was not a Gale girl. I didn't like how when she came back from literally surviving people trying to unalive her, TikTok language, that he was very upset that she did what she had to do to survive. And then throughout the rest of the series, he's like, can we talk about our relationship? Like, will you kiss me? Like, he was just very pushy and not respecting that she needed to process the trauma that she went through. So Finnick understands. He understands because he's lived through something similar. And there were those moments where they were bonding. And if we're going to do a non-canon couple and it's going to be Katniss with someone who's not Peeta, between these two, Finnick's my pick. Let me know what you guys think. I'm very interested. Like, am I in the minority? I might be. And that's okay. Okay, we are moving right along to our first and I think only Lord of the Rings couple. No, there's another one. Sorry. But Legolas and Gimli versus Charlie and Carlisle from Twilight. Do we have some Twihards out there? I think I've noted this before, but Matt is becoming a Twihard and it is adorable. This ship right here is for him because he, I think, is just a big Carlisle fan and also a big Charlie fan. He thinks they're really cool characters. We kind of both agreed that the dads in Twilight are much more interesting characters and are pretty great. But we have Legolas and Gimli who are just really good friends with Charlie and Carlisle who are their kids marry.
I was gonna say they're kind of like in-laws.
Yeah, they're like in-laws. I was trying to think of like, is there a word for when your parents and your in-laws, like, is there a word for that? Is it just in-laws?
Could it be like kid-in-laws? Like because
Well,
your kids are married, they're like.
Well, then like I would be the kid-in-law.
We'll workshop that with the bracket name.
Yeah. Or if you just know, let me know. Let me know. This whole thing is let me know your thoughts and opinions too. Let's get this interactive. I will reply back to your comments because I'm so curious about what everyone's feeling.
Can I ask a clarifying question that I don't know if anybody else is thinking, but at least I am?
Please.
With our bracket today, is it only going to be like true ships, or are we still looking at like friendships too?
That is a great question. And honestly, I am looking at this as relationships because later on, one of the ideas I had is to do something like Bracket Besties and see like who is the best friends in this book universe or in all of books that I read. So today, relationships. And because of that, I have who will move on. And that's going to be Charlie and Carlisle. Because in my brain, Legolas and Gimli, like, I know someone ships it, but I just see them as like platonic best friends. And I think their friendship is so wholesome. Like, they'll have to come back for Bracket Besties because they are best friends in my mind. I have read the Lord of the Ring books a long time ago. I love the movies. If you don't agree that they're best friends, that's your own opinion. But in my brain, they're just best friends. So Charlie and Carlisle move on. All right, we have switched to the other side of the board, and we need to take a moment and appreciate this handwriting because it is not mine. It is producer Brandi's.
Thank you. I'm pretty proud of it.
My handwriting is terrible, so we asked her to do it. We're starting off strong with our first and only Artemis couple, Jazz and Rudy, and one of two Avatar The Last Airbender couples, Sokka and Toph. This is tough because I actually don't know if anybody else in the world ships this, but when I was reading, and maybe it's just because I'm a romance girly, I kept seeing the interaction between Jazz and Rudy, and I'm like, I could see this being a thing. She's a smuggler, he's a cop. One of my favorite scenes in the book is he has Jazz arrested, and another person is also arrested, and this person is annoying both of them. And Rudy takes out a squirt gun and squirts this man in the face because they're on the moon. They can't have guns. That would be crazy. There might also be a really big age difference, but in my mind, Rudy was like maybe 5 to 10 years older than Jazz. And since they're both adults when I'm reading it, that's a fine age gap. We also have Sokka and Toph, which I feel like when this series was airing, people were kind of about it before Suki came back. And I can see it, but it's also just not my favorite. And so we're going to give the W to Jazz and Rudy. All right, we're moving right along to our Grishaverse couples, non-canon couples, and that is Elena and Nikolai and Kaz and Inej. I have less to say about both of these because I've read this book many years ago now. Or these books, it's a whole series. And honestly, both of them have some in-universe shipping. Like, it wasn't out of the realm of possibility. And I think we even, like, they admit that Kaz and Inej, like, kind of have feelings for each other, but they don't start a relationship. Me personally, I'm a Kaz and Inej girl. Okay, we are hopping back into Twilight and Avatar The Last Airbender with Zuko and Katara and Bella and Jacob. There's so many thoughts in my head for both of these couples because I did really like Jacob. I think he's a great character. And I personally ship Zuko and Katara. And I believe the creators came out and said originally this was supposed to be Endgame, and then they changed their minds. And I think we were robbed. They gave us one of the most beautiful redemption arcs for Zuko, and then also robbed us of this couple. So I'm a little bit hurt. I feel like it's kind of obvious who I'm going to pick, especially on this side. Do you agree, Producer Brandi?
I don't actually know.
Oh.
I'm very interested to see. I'll save my thoughts for a moment.
Well, we won't keep anyone in suspense any longer.
Okay, so I do agree. If I had to have like picked a side for sure, I think I would have guessed that's what you were gonna do. Funny enough, I've never watched Avatar or read it, so I don't have an opinion. But I don't like Bella and Jacob, so that's what I would have selected too if I were just circling names on a board. So
Fair enough.
I agree with it.
Fair enough. And our last of the first round couples, we have Frodo and Sam and Darcy and Wickham. Again, we have kind of like best friend trope, and then we have, if they were going to be a couple, it would be enemies to lovers. I will just say, for me, this one is very straightforward. And that is because these two, they hate each other. There is nothing that is ever going to bring them together. There is no, they would not even hate sleep with each other. They would hate murder each other. What is all that? I could never see this happening. So because of that, Frodo and Sam, our first round of round two. Hamish and Effie versus Percy and Raina. This is a pretty easy one for me. Brandi, give a thumbs up or thumbs down. Do you think Hamish and Effie are going to make it? She gave a thumbs up. That was kind of weird. As much as I do kind of like this, that's the better one, in my opinion. The round should get faster from here out now because you've heard all of my reasoning at this point. Next, we have Katniss and Finnick versus Charlie and Carlisle. I'm going to make some Hunger Games fans possibly very happy or very sad. For the same reasons that Brandi and I discussed at the beginning, I agree. These two are just best friends. I could see them more than these two. And now we're doing Jazz and Rudy versus Kaz and Inej. I feel like people are going to fight me on this. I really like both of them. And the only reason that this couple is going to move on is because it is less canon confirmed. I feel like this is like kind of canon confirmed. It was a little bit of a cheat. So if you've been thinking that up to this point, there you go. They've been eliminated. Moving down and getting our last semifinalist, we have Zuko and Katara versus Frodo and Sam. This is difficult. Brandi was writing these out, and I was like, now it's getting hard. And what did you say, Brandi?
Oh no, I don't remember.
She goes, well, yeah, that's the point of a bracket. Of course it's getting more difficult.
I did say that. She is correct. I did say that.
I really hope you can hear her. Oh, man. I feel like these two should move on because I do think they could be a couple. I do. And they're more book-based. With that said, I'm such a fangirl.
You got Darcy for this?
Darcy was never moving past the first round.
Yeah, he's gonna be gone. Let Frodo keep going.
No. If you couldn't hear Brandi, she's very upset that Darcy and Wickham got the axe in the first round. And she's saying that if this was gonna win out, then I should have just put them forward. But I didn't know. I didn't know how I felt until I was faced with this because I really like both of these non-canon ships. I am here for it. You're going to tell me they walked all the way to Mordor and back? They went all the way to the tower? I know, I can hear my dad go, they're just best friends. No, they're just best friends. These two are in love. But so are these two. Hey everybody, Editing Mackenzie here. So when I was talking about Sam and Frodo, I kept referring to Mordor, and I was really trying to say Mount Doom. They made it all the way to Mount Doom together to destroy the One Ring. But for whatever reason, my brain was just not working that day. And yeah, I was supposed to be saying Mount Doom. I promise I've read the books, and I do love Lord of the Rings. We all just have those days sometime. Hello, and welcome to the semifinals of this bracket shipmates. We have given up on the lines because we don't know space. Next one will be better. So we have Hamish and Effie versus Katniss and Finnick. And then on the other side of the board, we just dropped it down, Jazz and Rudy versus Zuko and Katara. I'm going to do the Hunger Games one last. I'm actually going to start down here because I feel like we're going to build some suspense. Again, I really like both of these ships. I was saying to Brandi, like, I'm heartbroken over some of the ships that have been cut. And she made the point, like, I'm the one cutting them. What can you do? Brandi said, don't cut them. That's the whole point of the video, though. And as much as it breaks my heart, and I feel like there will be a lot of very shocked people, even though I personally ship the other two more, this ship is more book accurate, or I guess based in books. And this is a booktube channel, so it has to be Jazz and Rudy. Now, the creme de la creme, the one that Brandi has $100 riding on. She's really just betting herself because no one else is here to bet against her. It's kind of funny she's betting on the Hunger Games. Brandi, are you a capital citizen?
No, but I'm not really betting for the victors. Like, really, I'm betting for Effie. Pulling out for her and her true love, who she's meant to be with.
We shall see. We have Hamish and Effie and Katniss and Finnick. Who is going to be one of the finalists? Two victors or one victor and a capital citizen? Brandi said Effie's a victor. Welcome back. For you, it's only been a second. For us, producer Brandi had to come over and write the winning couple's name. Did she win? If you'll notice, to hide the answer from you all, I am using a dust jacket. Alex Bracken, her book series, changed cover themes in the middle of the series, and as it was a duology, she just made available a free dust jacket for anyone who had already bought her first book. So now I just have this dust jacket that is sitting in my house because I think it's a beautiful dust jacket. And that's what we're using to hide the answer. I think I've stalled enough. Who do you think won? Hamish and Effie. The whole reason this video even came to be, and that's not even why they won. I didn't think they were going to win. There's some stiff competition on this board. I don't know who I thought was going to win, but I didn't anticipate this. But they are the winners. I know they are non-canon. That is the whole point of this video. But I think that if Hamish were able to move on from Lenore, Effie could have been his second love. And I think that's lovely. And I also think their friendship is lovely because they are friends. And real quick, I'm going to run over and give Brandi the microphone. She decorated the board because she was really excited, and I think she deserves to have her say.
Well, I just want to tell Mackenzie thank you for picking the right group. I was really worried we weren't going to be able to be friends anymore. So I'm really glad you did make the right choice and I didn't have to write a bad name on there. But Haymitch and Effie just, I think they get under each other's skin just enough that there's that tension that they do want more, but understandably, without, spoilers for other books, we understand where Haymitch is coming from and just he has to make his choices. And Effie's kind of in her weird dystopian world and what she's grown up with. So I can respect that they're not, but we all know they should be.
And there you have it, everybody. This has been our very first bracket video. I can guarantee there's at least 2 more bracket videos coming to you in the next couple of months. We have some big plans for the future of this channel, and I hope our community continues to grow. And I really hope that you all have an absolutely wonderful day. Cannot wait to see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.